Here are 10 diseases that gnaw at you, cause you pain, and inevitably lead to death. Fibrodisplazi, Ossifikans, Progressiva FOB. For short, this disease leads to involuntary different ossifications. This makes the body almost unable to move. Imagine being upright like a cane and unable to move. It occurs in about 1 in 1 million people. The first symptoms begin in childhood with pain and swelling in the legs and shoulders. Treatment is not possible because the soft tissues ossify. There is no definitive cure yet. Physiotherapy and medications are used to relieve symptoms. Hutchinson-Gilford Progeria syndrome. These patients age very rapidly, and death at an early age is the inevitable outcome. The average life expectancy of these patients is usually 13 years. Symptoms include hair loss, thinning of the skin, and joint stiffness. This syndrome is caused by mutations in the LMNA gene. This gene disrupts the structure of cells, and premature aging begins. It occurs in about 1 to 8 births per million births. There is no treatment. Congenital central hypoventilation syndrome. These patients are able to control their breathing while awake, but cannot control their breathing during sleep, and death is inevitable. This is because the brainstem is deactivated during sleep. Until this year, only 1,000 people in the world have been diagnosed. It is a congenital condition caused by mutations in the FOX2B gene. Treatment requires regular monitoring with respiratory support throughout the night. Apert Syndrome is a rare congenital genetic disorder that usually affects the skull and facial structure. Patients have abnormal skull and face shapes. The eye structure and nose structure are different. It is recognized immediately after birth. It occurs in one person in 200,000 births. The treatment is to correct the abnormalities with postnatal surgeries. If left untreated, the brain cannot develop, and it is fatal.
My name is Michael and I'm 9 years old. This surgery helps separate my fingers. It allows me to play the Wii, the iPad, and other stuff.
Adermatoglifia. In this disease, patients do not have fingerprints. The absence of fingerprints makes it difficult to identify the person. It is a very rare genetic disorder. It was first diagnosed in 2007. It has no negative side effects on the patient. It only complicates identity verification processes. There is absolutely no cure. Do you think such a condition increases the risk of criminal behavior? Tell us what you think in the comments. Let's move on to the next disease. Blue skin syndrome, methemoglobinemia. The skin color of these patients is blue.
Color blue.
Amazing story. I've never heard of anything like that.
This is a first on the Oprah show. He really is blue.
This California man is blue, literally. But
If you ask why they have blue skin, the reason is the oxidation of the hemoglobin molecule. This disease occurs when exposed to chemicals. Other effects of this disease are as follows: breathlessness, rapid heartbeat, headache, dizziness, fatigue, and changes in consciousness. Oxygen therapy is used in the treatment. Alice in Wonderland syndrome. Micropsi. These patients have no sense of dimension. They can see an elephant as a flea and a flea as an elephant. They have no perception of dimension, space, and time. They see hallucinations. They hear unreal sounds. It is often confused with schizophrenia. It is caused by head trauma or a virus. These conditions usually occur between 5 and 10 minutes during the day and can be repeated every day. The treatment is usually psychological support or medication. Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, EDS. These patients are incredibly flexible. They can turn their hands, arms, and head 360 degrees. Their skin stretches more than anyone else. They feel tired all the time. The cause of this disease is related to disorders in collagen production in the body as a result of mustation. There is no definitive treatment for this disease. Physical therapy is recommended. Sjögren syndrome. In these patients, saliva and tears are absent. The immune system attacks the tears and saliva, recognizes the body's fluids as a threat, and attacks them like a warrior. The body becomes dry and inflamed. These patients are also accompanied by muscle weakness. In the treatment, tear and saliva-enhancing drugs are injected. Imagine what it would be like to not be able to cry and not be able to taste food. Osteogenesis Imperfecta. The bones of these patients are like glass. If they hit something, they may shatter. Another name for this disease is glass bone. It occurs as a result of mutation. There is no definite cure. Physical therapy is required. Patients should also be very careful every second.
Osteogenesis Imperfecta type 3. That means I have really brittle bones. When I was a baby, when I rolled around just in my sleep, I broke my bones.
Sammy Haney is 9 years old. She has type 3 osteogenesis imperfecta. She has to be careful every moment. Her bones are almost like glass. Despite this, she is a girl who clings to life. This girl, who is seen as the new star of Netflix, has started to act in Netflix Kids. Pica syndrome. People with this disease have a desire to eat substances such as soil, ice, chalk, coal, metal, and paper. It is generally said that this is due to iron, magnesium, and vitamin deficiency in the blood. It occurs between 2 and 3 years of age. The danger is parasites and viruses in the materials eaten. The treatment is psychological support.
I still actually particularly enjoy elastic, sellotape, and those wrappers that you get tiny straws in that come on juice boxes. I would eat or swallow things that I knew would probably harm me.
If you have watched the video so far, please don't forget to like and follow for my labor. Stay tuned for such health and information videos.